Hey there, welcome to Meet the Grantee. My name is Renée Richardson. I am Director of Philanthropy for Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation, and we're thrilled to introduce you to some wonderful folks that we've been able to collaborate with. I'd like to welcome Ken Farris. He is the Deputy Director of Rebuild Operations for Team Rubicon, and also Wes Henderson, who is a founder of Angel's Envy, Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Famer, and dear friend to Blackened American whiskey by way of All Within My Hands. So together, we have been able to work together on a Kentucky rebuild, and I'm going to let these guys talk about that and how this collaboration came together. But before we get into that, I'd like to get to know each of these folks a little bit so you can get to know them. So we're going to start with you, Ken. Welcome. Would you let us know what Team Rubicon is all about and what you do for Team Rubicon?
All right, so Team Rubicon is a veteran-led disaster response organization. We really have three main pillars of the organization: our domestic operations, which responds in the immediate aftermath of storms or other natural disasters; our international operations, which is really centered around providing medical aid and medical training internationally; and then our rebuild services, which I am the head of. The rebuild services is we repair and remodel homes that are damaged in disasters. So we help out people our target is to help out people that can't help themselves after disasters.
Well, thank you for everything you do. And Wes, of course, you and I came together to work with Team Rubicon, and I should say that Wes technically is retired, but even in retired, he's probably one of the busiest people I've ever met. In fact, where were you right before we got on this call?
Just there was a little wreck on the interstate, so I stopped to kind of just hang out and see if I could help. But yeah, retirement was supposed to be me doing nothing. It doesn't seem like it's worked out that way, but I'll figure it out.
And Wes, tell the good folks what your background is. Of course, you're well known in the bourbon industry, and you recently retired from Angel's Envy. But there are things maybe people don't know about you in other parts of your background.
Okay, I retired from Angel's Envy at the end of January and founded the brand in 2009. Launched it in 2011, and in retirement, and really the only thing that could have gotten me out of retirement was to do this collaboration. So I was chilling, planning on doing nothing at all, and then when this opportunity came up, I'm like, I'm in. But yeah. I do some other things. I'm a first responder. I work in emergency services, and that's kind of what I've chosen to do more of now that I've retired. I really enjoy that.
Wes, of course, worked with our partners at Blackened American Whiskey, and they worked on a whiskey collaboration. And through that, Wes, you were the one that really brought up, okay, we need to do something special to give back in Kentucky. Kentucky is, we have this deep connection to Kentucky as far as bourbon is concerned. And we need to give back. Our friends in Kentucky had a very rough year so far. At the start of the year, we saw hurricanes come through and decimate portions of the state. And then that followed up with flooding in July. So just when things were just coming back to life, they get hit again with these floods. So it really was Wes that came to All Within My Hands and said, who can we partner with? And Team Rubicon fit a lot of what we were all looking for. So Ken, can you tell us what your team has been doing in Kentucky in these past few weeks, or even since the start of the year when they first got hit with the hurricanes?
We started up some initial response operations where we helped people recover things in their house, debris removal, Sawyer teams cutting down trees, making things safe for people around their communities. And then that went for a little while into the beginning of this year. We recently have been doing that in Kentucky with the flooding and on the other side of the state in eastern Kentucky. And we are just wrapping that up this week from the flooding. And we are in the initial stages of kicking off our rebuild in western Kentucky, where we will be rebuilding probably from the Mayfield area over to Bowling Green. And we'll be rebuilding houses, putting new roofs on houses, trying to build as most resilient structures as we can to help those withstand any future storms. And then we will probably be spinning to the east side of the state to redo some houses after the flooding.
And now, Wes, I'd like to ask you a little bit about giving back. Certainly in everything you do, just in life in general, aside from the whiskey making, but what you do is, as a human being, you can see that you're the kind of person that will step up and help out. What inspired you to talk to Team Rubicon and get involved in the way that you have for this recent collaboration?
And thank you. That's very kind of Ken. Thank you as well on behalf of all of Kentuckians for stepping up and at a time of great need. And there are a lot of folks who lost everything, as you know, and to be able to step up and help them, we can't say thank you enough. This is near and dear to my heart for a few reasons. First of all, I'm from Kentucky. This is where I was born. This is where I started my company. I was also on the mass casualty team and assigned to the medical examiner's office after both disasters. So we are responsible for identification, determining cause and manner of death, and getting those who lost their lives back to their family members. And it was it's always a difficult task, but we did what we needed to do as a team to try to do those things. So I was there in the middle of all of it, and to see that destruction really brings perspective back to me, even more perspective than I would normally have. Wow.
What can you say about the resiliency? We see it it's so hard to see horrible things happen, but then the joy that does come when you see people working together to help their fellow man. Can you talk about what you've seen in Kentucky just after this series of unfortunate disasters?
I lived in Florida for 12 years and experienced a lot of hurricanes. So we saw kind of communities in action when that happened, but we've never really had that, any of large scale disasters like this in Kentucky. As a matter of fact, the last time the mass casualty team was activated was after a commercial plane crash in 2004. So fortunately, we haven't experienced such large scale disasters, but Kentuckians do what Kentuckians do. We're small town. We're about stepping up and helping each other, and everyone will bounce back. Everyone will build back with Team Rubicon helping build back better than ever. And the people in Eastern and Western Kentucky are going to get all the support that they need. And I know they're grateful for it also.
And Ken, how about you? Did you see a lot of locals step up to volunteer? I know Team Rubicon has a vast array of folks and veterans who are working with you, but what about locally as you were rebuilding and are rebuilding?
Yeah, there's been great response from the communities around where we've been working. The communities step up to help out, and that's usually the case with smaller communities. When you go into smaller communities, the response is great. People always step up and help, and they really want to help out their neighbors and make their community stronger.
Before we let you guys go, I do want to ask this. What does it cost to build a house for Team Rubicon, roughly?
So our average cost to repair a house, our average project runs around $60,000 total for one house. Now, some houses are take a lot less. If it's just a roof's damaged and it needs a new roof, then you're talking $15,000 to $20,000 depending on the size of the house. So there's a whole range of expenses depending on the damages that are incurred by the house.
And I know, all within my hands, we're very proud to have been able to partner with Wes on this and be able to give a gift to Team Rubicon and learn more about what you guys do. But Wes, I want to know if you have any other thoughts or things you want to say before we close out and tell folks how they can help.
Well, I certainly there are a bunch of organizations out there that need help. They need donations is what they need more than anything, and please reach out and do that. I do have to say that when I decided to do this collaboration, I talked with my friends at Blackened about this component, and I asked, "Hey, can we do this?" Within a half an hour, I got an answer back, "Sure." And then they're like, well, let's get All Within My Hands involved as well. And with probably within a couple hours, everybody was yes, 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 yes. So we're certainly very grateful to everyone who stepped in, and everybody's just been so kind and cooperative. So thank you for that, everybody. And this is great to be able to talk about these things that are happening.
And thank you, Wes, for leading us through it all. We appreciate it, and we're super proud of what we've done together, and super proud to get to know Team Rubicon. So thank you. Ken, any last words? How can people help Team Rubicon?
We always are open for more donations. As our founder of the organization likes to say, there's 99 things more important than money, but they all cost money. So, thank you both for everything you guys are doing and helping our organization out and helping the people of Kentucky.
Ken and Wes, I appreciate you both so much. And for you, thank you for joining us for Meet the Grantee. And if you'd like to help out, please visit teamrubiconusa.org. Thanks. We'll see you out there.